Mr. President, to save the world from the scourge of war, we have to continue to strive for a fair and just international order based on rule of law. Festering disputes must be resolved. In this regard, the United Nations has to play a critical role. The United Nations must continue to remain attentive to the issue of Jammu and Kashmir and the full realization of the right to self-determination of its people. The suffering of the people cannot be brushed under the carpet because of power politics. As in the past, Pakistan calls upon the international community to give an opportunity to the Kashmiris to decide their future peacefully in accordance with the United Nations Security Council resolutions. The issue of Jammu and Kashmir was presented to the Security Council in January 1948, and yet the issue remains unresolved after nearly 7 decades. I have an aspiration for regional peace and stability. I have shared this vision with leaders in our neighborhood. Shortly after assuming office, I received a message of goodwill from the Prime Minister of India, Dr. Manmohan Singh. I extended an invitation to him to engage with us to address all outstanding issues between our two countries, and Prime Minister Singh's response was positive. Our two countries have wasted massive resources in an arms race. We could have used these resources for the economic well-being of our people. We still have that opportunity. Pakistan and India can prosper together, and the entire region would benefit from our cooperation. We stand ready to re-engage with India in a substantive and purposeful dialogue. I am looking forward to meeting Prime Minister Manmohan Singh here in New York to make a new beginning. We have a solid basis to do that. We can build on the Lahore Accord signed in 1999, which contained a roadmap for the resolution of our differences through peaceful negotiations. I am committed to working for a peaceful and economically prosperous region. This is what our people want, and this is what I have long aspired for. Mr. President, as a responsible nuclear weapon state, we will continue to pursue the goals of disarmament and non-proliferation and adhere to the policy of credible minimum deterrence without entering into any arms race. We would not, however, remain oblivious to the evolving security dynamics in South Asia, nor would we agree to arrangement that is detrimental to our security and strategic interests. Our position on the proposed fissile material treaty is determined by our national security interest and the objective of strategic stability in South Asia. Safe, secure and peaceful use of nuclear energy without discrimination is essential for economic development. Pakistan qualifies for full access to civil nuclear technology for peaceful purposes to meet its growing energy needs for continued economic growth. By the same token, as a mainstream partner in the global non-proliferation regime, Pakistan has impeccable credentials to join the multilateral export control regime, including the Nuclear Suppliers Group. Pakistan will continue to participate constructively in the Nuclear Security Summit, NSS, which is a laudable initiative. Mr. President, as a country that has suffered grievously for the past many years, we condemn terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. In the past 12 years, we have given huge sacrifices in blood and resources. We have lost 40,000 precious lives of men, women and children, which include 8,000 defense and security personnel. There have been colossal damages to social and physical infrastructure as well. our economy has been denied the opportunity to grow fully. This must change now. I have tried to forge national consensus on a cohesive policy to eliminate terrorism from our soil. For that purpose, I convened an all-parties conference which spoke unanimously against terrorism. We are resolved to oppose the forces of terrorism by all means at our disposal. At the same time, we have offered dialogue to end violence, wean young extremists off extremism, and integrate all segments of our society into the national mainstream. Winning hearts and minds of the youth is as important as using guns to deter terrorism. But dialogue should not be seen as a sign of weakness or a tool of appeasement. Mr. President, the war against terrorism must be waged within the framework of international law. The use of armed drones in the border areas of Pakistan is a continued violation of our territorial integrity. It results in casualties of innocent civilians and is detrimental to our resolve and efforts to eliminate extremism and terrorism from Pakistan. I have urged the United States of America to cease these strikes so that we could avert further casualties and suffering all around the world. Terrorism negates Islam's humanistic outlook and noble values. Those who perpetrate terrorism are enemies of Muslims and Islam itself.